Hi, how are you? So I know it's been a week and I have not done any videos because my son was sick last week, and then we had a holiday on Monday, and I thought that I probably was going to be able to do a video, but anyway, he was sick. So when he is sick, I usually just pause everything in my life and I do just the minimum required work, to pay bills. But everything else is paused. So if it happens as things take a sour turn and we have to go to the hospital, I'm ready to go, and we go together wherever we go. So we are a party of three, me, my husband, and the child, and we do everything together all the time. So anyway, so that's why I couldn't do any videos. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to, I had a different plan for the video for today, but anyway, we have so much time, hopefully, that it's something that I wanted to touch base on today, because it's something very relevant. And it's something that when I tell everyone how our life changed when we started the special needs journey, I know that it's hard for people to get these unless you go through. There's so much that you can read and somebody can tell you things, but honestly, it doesn't click truly until you go through something that it can be life changing. And I know that sometimes when we all read stories, we get a little bit of like a shake when we read them, and we're like, yeah, that's truth. And then maybe we may have the intent to change things, but I know that probably 99% of the people, they don't. Maybe they may just change a change that is just for a little bit, but to make a life change, it takes a lot, and you have to be willing to do that. So anyway, I'm rambling about this because a friend of mine shared an article today that says grieving father urge parents to put family life before their jobs. And I know that this applies to everyone, special needs or not. And just to be real, plain honest, I feel that if you don't go through something life changing like an accident, like a terminal illness, or something that it can happen to your children, we don't click that our life can change in a matter of seconds, because we're so all caught up with the daily routine of go to work and then work more because of whatever reason it is. But I'm going to read what I posted today, and it says that in the busy world we live in, we all get caught up in just how I say it, work, and work some more. And I know that people usually say that they made it once they reach a certain economic level. So sometimes, even songs sometimes I will hear, and they will talk like I made it because I'm famous, because now I'm rich, because everything that it's material. And for me, has I have never considered that you made it. Probably because my goal was never have a lot, maybe because of my upbringing. It's all about where you come from and what you want in life. And I think that if you didn't have a rough childhood, maybe your goal is not going to be as much as to reach some economic, because maybe you think in your mind that it's kind of like entitled. But at the same time, I feel that everyone gets presented the opportunity of thinking what you really want in life, and that happens to everyone. You just have to stop and think about it. But I feel that I never thought that, oh, I'm going to marry a rich man, or I want this. That never even crossed my mind. I have always been like an outsider. I have always done things differently. I have always thought things differently. I did everything differently in my life. Whew, I have stories and stories that I can tell you about that. So for me, it was never about that. For me, it was always about being happy and what makes me happy. And, money never made me happy. Sure, money can help you to get things, but those things didn't fulfill me at all. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So My point is, it's about what people say that you made it. And I feel that in today's world, that everything, it's about show off, and it's about having the biggest house, the biggest car, and then now it's about what brand you're using. And that's what, honestly, I don't like Instagram. I don't. I have it because of work, but I rarely post things in there because I feel that it just doesn't click with me. I'm not selling appearances. I'm not selling something that is not real. And that's why it's my love and hate relationship with social things, because everything is about faking it. And if that makes you happy, go for it. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but at the same time, I feel that we're fueling more into, we make people believe that you have to have those things. You have to have a brand purse. You have to have brand shoes. And for me, I couldn't care less. I can buy things that are used. I can go to a store that give things to the homeless, and I couldn't care. As long as I have a roof and I have clothes to put on, I couldn't care the brand. And that's what I have never had brands on my clothes. Not that I buy brands at all, but sometimes you can get things on discount for a pretty good deal. And it bothers me when it has the brand, because I'm like, I feel like I'm a mass production thing. And if you don't have that brand on you, then you're not enough. But guess what? I have always felt that I'm good enough. So I have never have the need to have a brand on me. So that's why when people say that they made it, then I'm like, great. So you're spending all this time with your family and you're not concerned about money anymore? And we don't agree with that term. So that's what I just wanted to talk about, the made it thing. So anyway, my post continued to say that 7 years ago I learned, because when somebody tells you these type of things, it's never the same as when you go through what I just mentioned. But nothing that money can buy could replace the happiness and the love my child gives me, and vice versa. My biggest fear has always been who will care or love my son the day that we are no longer in here. And I can talk about that later. But anyway, so because that was my biggest fear, my biggest concern, mine has never been like, oh, I'm not going to have money to pay the bills or this. Because yes, that can be anyone's, concern, but you can just go work a little bit and have the money. It doesn't have to mean that you have to be out your entire day making money. If you just go out and make money just so you have the basics, that's for me is happiness. I don't need to have a big fat bank account to be happy, because money doesn't fulfill me. It has never done. Sure, years ago we had a lot more and we could, take more vacations and we could go out all the time. But I wasn't happier than what I am today, because I worked so many hours to be able to do that I was gone all the time. And that was before even my son was born. And when life, slap in the face and say wake up, then you have to put in a balance what really is important. Either you are working all the time and you're away, or you're here in the now and present and leave. And I will never forget, I was at a doctor office, and this was for an appointment for me, a regular thing. And she asked me something. I said, well, I cannot do this day because we're going on vacation. And she asked me what I was doing for a living. And she goes, really? And I was like, yeah, we're going on vacation, 2 weeks, whatever. And she goes, look, I'm a doctor and we never are able to take vacations because I'm always working. And then I say, that's the point. Right there, you say that. For me, it's not about working all the time and making all this money. It's about having enough to cover what is important to you, but then having more time to be with your family. So, that's what I wanted to touch base on this, because my post continued, that we gave up work and all those hours, and even to say, oh, I'm so and so for my company. because it wasn't important. My husband is counting with his fingers when the camera stopped, so we continue. So anyway, we decided all that because, again, for us and for me, it wasn't important. I couldn't care less to say that I'm so from a company, because that doesn't make me happy. And I think that that comes from an understanding that you have to know at some point in your life what you want, what makes you happy. And that's what I say, that this is to anyone out there listen to this, that if you think that you have to have all this money, or you have to be showing off, a specific imported car, or like you have to live your life like an Instagram post, you don't. If that makes you happy and that's your goal in life, go for it. But I can guarantee you that at some point things are going to crack, and you're going to realize that that's not enough. And that comes with all those people that they wanted that in their life, and once they achieve it, then they go to the next level and the next level, but they understand that at the same time they're getting isolated, because everything has pros and cons, and I don't feel that, this is when you see that people has a lot, and I'm talking about people who has a lot, okay? They stand, they end up giving things away because they realize that having too much doesn't fulfill them anymore. And now having a purpose in life and having, something that they can help others, that fulfills them. So my thing, it's about, being here, spend the time with your family, spending the time with your children, and realize that, no one has anything guaranteed. You can just leave to go to work and have a car accident, and that was it. Now, I want you to stop today and think about, what are you doing? It's in making that, like, is that giving you happiness? Are you really happy? At the end of the day, when you're home, are you happy all the time that you're spending with your family? If you had a heart attack right now, will you be happy while you did the past 8 hours? Did you spend enough time with your family? Did you hug them? Did you hug them all the time that you wanted? Did you cook for them? I don't know. I'm just thinking about, like, did you really spend the last 8 hours of your life in a good way? And that's what I did. I decided that I just, couldn't care less about the material things. And if I could spend all the amount of hours that I could with my family and with my son, that was giving me happiness. And of course, everyone has a different path in life, but I feel that, reading this article, it's kind of like, yeah, that happened 7 years ago, that now this dad is trying to share his experience with others, because he was just about work and what people call to make it. And he was so focused on that his child passed away on his sleep. And now it comes the regret. But you know what? Maybe his child had special needs or not, but that can happen to all of us at any given time. And that was for me my biggest wake up, call. I have always knew that we can come and go, because of, things that has happened in my life. But that was a real moment for me to make the decision that, no, I just didn't want to be working 12 or 16 hours a day away from my son to provide for my son, because that makes no sense. That in math, it makes no sense. For me, it was more like, yes, we have to work. I cannot live in a unicorn world, even though I would love to. We have bills to pay. We have to take care of that. But at the same time, you have to have a balance. If the day has 24 hours and hypothetically we're spending 8 hours, sleeping, and then what I do with the rest of these hours. And I have 16 hours, and sure, probably spending 8 hours working will be good, but if you can make it in less time and make money to be able to fulfill, basic needs, everything else is extra. So how much important those extras are for you versus spending time with your family? Because what if I tell you that you have 8 hours to spend right now, and because you're dying after 8 hours, what are you going to do? No one will say that they're going to go and spend them at work with people that will continue to live their lives, because the ones that are going to suffer are the ones that would not be spending the time with. So you should live like that. You should live every single day thinking about, if you only have these 8 hours left, are you going to be spending them with those that are not your family, those that may be strangers, those that may just go to the funeral and guess what, they all have their own families? Or will you take that time to spend it with those that mean the most to you? So that's just wanted to share today. I know it's probably like a longer video, longer than I wanted, but I can just continue going and over about this topic, because I feel that at some point, if you're watching this video and you realize that, oh yeah, what I'm doing, it's not happy, well, take a moment and think about it. We all have to do that every single day. Take a moment and talk to yourself and be honest to you. If having a lot of, economic material things makes you happy and it pulls you away from your family and you're happy with that, great. But if you are like 99% of the people that are not, then don't. It's simple. It's that simple. You can live with having used clothes, and you can live with not having that much economic thing, because if you're happy, that's all what it matters. Because the day that you are not longer here, at least you really, really, really live. So that's it for today. Take care.